what is really good as I've gone around the room, people have different perceptions and different understandings and are questioning different things. And that's the really good, that is good, because it's not about being right or wrong, it's about creating the conversation and what do we need to consider and learning from each other. Taken from any view, either text, teacher or student, what do you think? What did you talk about?
The modelling of enthusiasm and curiosity.
Yes. Both teachers, one teacher?
Particularly the first one.
Yes.
But,
the lady
next
with...
one too, to a
Yeah,
degree.
yeah. The enthusiasm of the teacher, yeah. Mm?
Some of the preconditions, like the setup of the group,
Yeah.
you know, they weren't on the carpet and, you know,
Yeah.
round circle sort of discussion,
Yep.
they were immediately engaged
The-
with both groups.
Yeah, the discussion, let's talk about the discussion in both of the groups. What do you think?
Scaffold,
What do we mean by scaffolded?
giving them a clear understanding of expectations and what they wanted to think about when they're reading.
Yeah. Both teachers led the students into the reading in relation to that, didn't they? There was the I wonder question that came up out of the discussion. Oh, I wonder why elephants cover themselves in mud. You might find that out as you read. So she had them reading with a question in mind.
And making connections to other things where they might have read before. Like one of the boys actually said in that first one about, oh, this is like when we read kangaroos or something about the kangaroos and about the joeys.
Yes.
The elephant. That's
Yeah.
And with the other one, she also made a connection to social studies or something.
Yeah, they were drawn into a text-to-text connection, and in the other group there was a connection to their integrated studies, yeah, the actual topic and the content, yeah. What else did you see?
She allowed them to discuss, both teachers did, without interrupting or making
Yeah.
judgment on the discussions.
Let's talk about the discussion that we saw at both of them, in both of them though. Was there anything in particular, or what did you notice about the group that were reading Seed Folk? What was the discussion like there?
Independent discussion and the fact that they could disagree with people and for clarifications and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't agree with what you said there, and they had their own interpretation
Yes.
of what they had read.
Yeah.
And it was like a discussion group. Like Bubba said, it was like a reader's notebook type session, or you know.
That's
as opposed
right.
to,
There was more discussion between students and disagreement and clarifying and building on each other's points. When we look at the interaction and the discussion in the group that read the Elephants book, was it teacher to student or student to student? Was far more teacher to student.
Is it related to the reader's maturity too? Like
Yeah, yeah. And so the decision is it appropriate teacher to student, and if so, when? But over time we would want to see a change of practice, that we don't want to see teacher, student as the reading and as our students develop. We do want to see at times where the discussion and the interaction is between the students and not dependent on teacher, student as a pattern, yeah. Sally made a good point about, and I think it relates to the teacher-student discussion. Do you mind sharing what we were talking about?
I just thought that she had a teaching point in mind, which is good, but she was very closed in the questioning, so she didn't allow the kids to contribute. It was a really, I guess, what I'm thinking situation, which didn't allow for that collaboration.
Yeah, but that's the kind of discussion we had over here, that it didn't go to a deeper level about, you know, the feelings and things like that.
No.
It could come through the discussion. I mean, some of that material was a bit emotive and there wasn't that discussion.
No,
Yeah.
and this is the example, she didn't allow the kids to come to
Yeah.
the point themselves.
what do you think it was?
Yeah.
She was so intent on the teaching point that she didn't.
Yeah.
But then she did sort of get them to say, you know, how are they different? She did say, well, this one's brown and this one's grey, or this is that. So she did make that initial thing, but then they did have that discussion
Yeah.
a little bit as to how they were the same or different.
Yeah, we had a discussion about what was the teacher getting at there. my view was, I think she was trying to introduce to students the layout of the text and some of the decisions that the author had made. But I do take Sally's point that that same teaching point could have been achieved by an open-ended question. What do you notice here? And get the students to give the information about the text layout and the decisions that the author had made. Yeah.
Yeah, in that second one though, I was saying before that we thought that the teacher could have taken that to a deeper, to obviously had that purpose in mind.
Yes.
And wanted to get across, but
Yeah.
it could have had another dimension. to
Yeah.
it.
Where were you thinking she could have taken it to?
Well, you know, there's the subject matter itself lends
Yes.
itself to a lot to them putting themselves into the shoes of the people they're
Yes.
reading about, the characters that they're reading about.
Yeah. And do you think that that group of students, although their discussion and their interaction was great, they built on each other's understandings and disagreed and added to, I felt that the teacher was trying to get a clear connection between the title and what they had read so far in the 3 chapters. I see you nodding, and I don't think that the students got there in the end. In the end, I think the teacher did tell them. Yeah. Other,
They did point out, one of the girls did point out the subheadings in Vision of the Elephants one.
no, I was talking about the seed folk. I think the teacher was trying. No, but this is all we're only surmising. But it's good to have the discussion and the question and reflect upon, well, how does that apply to me? I think that she was trying to link it back to the idea of the immigration and change in time in that culture with the influence of other cultures, and the seed folk and the different seed folk and what was their connection, but what was their independent story. And I don't think the students fully got the connection between the title and the main theme. But they
They'd need
did.
more than the 3.
Pardon?
They'd need more than the 3,
Yes.
more than that initial
Yeah.
reading.
And over time they might have. They got the connection between the picture on the back and that it said something about the character in their life. Yeah.
And they probably wouldn't have got it until they could develop some type
Yeah.
of empathy and relate it back to
Yeah.
their own self.
Yes.
To see hope, I mean, that's so abstract, isn't it? You know, even the word hope is so abstract, and you'd have to have that empathy for the characters to be able to
Yeah.
understand.
It was a much more complex text.